Mention promo code PODCAST and get 50% off your flooring and materials. Save thousands. Call 877-50-FLOOR or visit online at 50floor.com. That's 50floor.com.
Fans, Baby Ruth, the official candy bar of the Cincinnati Reds, the go-to fan favorite treat. Before, during, or even after the game. Taste the deliciousness of high-quality dry-roasted peanuts, rich caramel, and smooth nougat. There's nothing better than enjoying your favorite game with a classic candy bar. So get your hands on your own Baby Ruth bar today at your local Speedway.
Trading shouldn't have barriers. When Robinhood started, it was built to make trading more accessible. Now, Robinhood offers more sophisticated trading tools. Experience the future of trading on Robinhood Legend, the all-new desktop platform that harnesses intuitive design to deliver a seamless experience for traders. Free to use with a Robinhood account. The future of trading is fast, powerful, and precise. Experience it now on Robinhood Legend. Sign up today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a
% off sunglasses from Shadon Precision Eyewear. Hurry over to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and use promo code SPRING. See better and play better with Shadon. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com. Promo code SPRING.
Who's counting on Aunt Millie's for fresh baked buns this summer? Campers who pack it all to get away from it all. Patio purists who know that a kiddie pool and lawn chairs are enough. Baseball fans wishing the workday had a seventh inning stretch. Road trippers and staycationers, sunbathers, and beachcombers. And anyone who loves the freshest hamburger and hot dog buns delivered daily to Cincinnati's favorite grocers. Because no matter where summer takes you, Aunt Millie's brings you closer to home.
Oh, watch for beans.
That sign says watch for bears. Here, let's find you an eye doctor on ZocDoc.
Look, Dr. Barker is in network.
That says Dr. Baker. Here, let me help. Reviews say he's very attentive. Dr. Cleaves has 5 stars and an opening tomorrow.
That's great.
Booked it.
Nice. So, why do I need to watch for falling socks? You've got options. Book on ZocDoc today.
It's on, the biggest Maytag sale of the year at Lowe's. Buy 2 select laundry appliances and get up to a $100 bonus via instant rebate. Shop all things Maytag, including the new stackable Pet Pro laundry system that removes pet hair from clothes. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid through 5/31. See store for pricing and offer details. Advertise savings on all major Maytag appliances through Maytag.com and participating retailers. Prices may vary. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Agent Ginger Roy is there. Contact Ginger for a quote today.
Hey, I'm Tank Sinatra here with my co-host,
Investigator Slater.
And together, we host the true crime podcast, Psychopedia.
It's true crime infused with comedy.
Making it a crimedy.
Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
As a business owner, it's important to keep your business connected. Spectrum Business is committed to keeping your business online, whenever and wherever you need us, all backed by the Spectrum Commitment. Get fast, reliable internet starting at $40 per month when bundled, or level up your internet speed and get a 3-year price guarantee. Learn how Spectrum Business can help your business stay connected at spectrum.com/business. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
The Rams play here.
And it's over! And the Rams win it! 84-82!
Stay tuned to your home for the Rams. Sports Radio 910 The Fan and 105.1 FM.
Zoom goes Dylan Cruz. Sports Radio 106.7 The Fan, an Odyssey sports station.
106.7 The Fan, Sports Flash.
I'm Toby Altizer with your sports update on The Fan. This update is brought to you by Coach Wooten's basketball camp, CoachWooten.com. That's 2 O's and 2 T's. On the hardwood, the Thunder advanced to the NBA Finals last night, beating the Timberwolves by 30, 120-94, winning the series in 5 games. Tonight, Eastern Conference Finals Game 5 between the Pacers and the Knicks at 8 o'clock. The Pacers lead that series 3-1. In baseball, the Nationals taking on the Mariners in a rubber match tonight in Seattle. 9:40 first pitch. You can hear the game right here on The Fan. The Major League leader in strikeouts, Mackenzie Gore, takes the hill for the Nationals. He's 2-5 with a 3.47 ERA. He'll take on Emerson Hancock, who is 2-2 with a 5.95 ERA. Earlier today, the Atlanta Braves took on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies won 5-4 in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Bigger news for the Braves, though. Their starting pitcher, A.J. Smith-Shawver, said he felt a pop in his elbow. Manager Brian Snitker said it's not looking good. He's going to head back to Atlanta for imaging on that. And in hockey tonight, Western Conference Finals Game 5, Oilers and Stars. 8 p.m. puck drop for that one. The Oilers looking to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals for the second straight year as they lead the series 3-1. Last night, the Panthers finished off the Hurricanes with a 5-3 victory, winning the series in 5 games, advancing to their third straight Stanley Cup Finals. Coach Wooten's basketball camp, they instill love the game by teaching kids how to play, values the game, and having fun. Join the rite of passage for beginners all the way up to the rising high school star and experience the legacy of the Wooten basketball camps. Coach Wooten. From the Crop Medcalf 5-Star Sports Desk, I'm Toby Altizer on The Fan.
It's Grant and Danny.
It's funny and it's honest.
That's pretty much Danny in a nutshell.
On 106.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Gets underway with their OTAs. But Chad wanted to weigh in. Chad, what's up, buddy? You're on The Fan.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Appreciate you, man.
I had a question about the last
Tim Zorn in. They're going to give space for Zorn. Go ahead now, Chad. You're up.
Wanted to ask a question, and I'll let you guys go about the Lattimore thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious. I love the front office. I love what they've done and what they're doing. Keep it up. But does it make a lot of sense to trade for a player, what we gave away that was already hurt? Was it just for the name, or was he on the back end of this injury, or what do you guys think?
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. Tobes, you go first.
I mean, it was one of the red flags when they traded for him, right? A guy that's seemingly dealt with hamstring injuries throughout his career and was out with a hamstring injury. So it was a risk that they felt like they were willing to take. Maybe, they obviously, once you finish a trade, you have a physical and you go through all that stuff. So the doctors had evaluated him and felt like he was going to be able to get back out there. I think if you asked them, Danny, they expected him to get out on the field earlier than he did. And frankly, I think they expected him obviously to be better than he was. But that's a risk you take. I think that's a valid criticism, though. You trade for a guy with an injury history that was injured when you traded for him. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a gamble that they took. I don't know that it's paid off.
I think that's the answer, is that it's a gamble. And it's one that I would have made. I said so at the time. Here's what I think we forget about. Remember, Emmanuel Forbes was on the roster for 6 weeks until they finally said, we just can't do this anymore. We can't. No, thank you. The guy they drafted to be a slot corner was one of their boundary corners, and they were rotating between Benjamin St-Juste and Michael Davis and Michael St-Juste and Benjamin Davis, and none of it mattered. They were all bad, and they were all holding. They couldn't stop anybody. Noah Igbenogany, I thought, was fine as a boundary corner at times, but that's not the plan. Their secondary, most specifically their corners, I think were a disaster. And in November, there aren't many reinforcements available. Right, that's more of an offseason thing. That's more of a draft thing. That's more of a free agency and trying to build thing. At that stage, you are desperate because you're better than maybe anybody thought you could be. You thought you'd be good. You thought you'd be better. improved from a year before when you were a disaster picking second for a reason. But here you are. You find yourself in this fight. You find yourself with a chance to do something special the organization hasn't done in decades. So they turned to an available option that had, at times, played really well, that exhibited some of the things they were hoping to find at the cornerback spot, whether it's toughness, physicality, ability to play a little press, to be able to mix and match some coverages that they lacked, quite frankly. They knew, and I really believe this, I've beat this drum, and I firmly believe I'm right, and nobody else seems to think the way that I do, and that's totally fine. I think they weren't a good run defense. I'm not saying they were. I think they were made that much worse because they knew how truly bad this group was.
Sure.
And we can't leave them alone for a microsecond. So they didn't. And this was an attempt to fix that, to be able to play some of the better opponents on their schedule they're going to have to play in the postseason, an attempt to try to fix it. I think it's a swing and miss. I think that's how it's going to end up going.
Yeah, I mean, to the caller's point, though, too, this is also why he was more affordable. Because if you're going to trade for a corner like this, one, corners that are of that caliber really aren't available, especially at the trade deadline. They're not available in season. And if you're going to trade for a guy like a Marshawn Lattimore, you're going to have to give up more than what they gave up. You know, unless he was disgruntled like a Jalen Ramsey, which we talked about earlier. So it's a give and a take. You swing sometimes for a guy that's injured. You get a little bit better of a deal, but you also can't be shocked when a guy who's been injured and was injured when you traded for him is still injured and hasn't been the same guy that he was when he was an All-Pro.
Let's go to Ike in Arlington. Also wants to weigh in on Lattimore. Ike, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Good,
Big
pal.
time listener, first time caller.
The first timers are coming out of the woodwork on Marshawn Lattimore. Tim Zorn is just sitting there hoping that it's a first time caller so he can weigh in. What's up, buddy?
That's right. Well, I don't hate the Marshawn Lattimore move from last year's perspective. Going into this year, mindset's a little bit changed, but at the same time, Adam Peters was new in town. We had a growth in our team that we'd never seen before, at least in my lifetime. 98 born. So I like the aggressive move, and I think we're counting him out too quick. I know he's out at OTAs, but I want to stay optimistic and hope that him and Stanistril and that defensive unit can put it together this year. Keep my faith up on him.
Appreciate you, Ike. Thank you, dude. So I agree with all the first part. I've obviously, shared my skepticism here about his season, but I'm with you. I want to be very clear. I don't like when somebody has an opinion, calling balls and strikes, and then pretends that's how they thought all along. Does that make sense? I was so in favor of the trade. I said, yes, I'm excited about this. Because, again, of my view that their secondary was terrible. I wanted Lattimore. I approved of the move. I would trade a third, fourth, and a sixth every time for the potential to dramatically improve that cornerback spot. Yes. Where do I sign up? It didn't work, I don't think. And I don't believe it's going to work. It doesn't mean I'm criticizing the move, right? This is one of those where on the balance sheet, it still looks real good. Brandon Peters and Lance Newmark and company. It's very positive, right? You don't have to look too far. You don't have to start searching for reasons, right? You don't have to find, maybe they're hidden expected points. Nope, 12-5 NFC title game. Yes to them. And yes again, right? I think this one didn't work. I get why they tried it. I probably would have tried the same thing.
Yeah, I don't blame them for trying. I wasn't the biggest fan of the move when they made it. I haven't been the biggest fan of Lattimore, obviously, with how he was here, like, proven a little bit right there. But I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of the trade, but I don't blame them. Like, I liked the value that they got. Part of the reason, too, that I liked the value was I wasn't assuming he was going to be as bad as he was, Danny, but he was also under contract for this year and next. So you could have gotten a corner who could potentially be your number one, and not just number one for a rental, but number one for 2.5 years. And who knows, maybe it's not even going to be more than a half a year. But I don't mind them swinging and missing and trying there. It was a little bit of a risk, but sometimes you have to take those risks and see what happens. And they took the risk, and right now it doesn't look so good.
It hasn't worked yet. Maybe it will. And I hope it does, by the way. They're much better. This offseason will look a lot different if they're right. If he's good, that changes a lot of stuff. There's two guys.
Their entire defense.
Yeah, there are two guys, Kinlaw and him. If they're right, this front office is right, that's a game changer. All of a sudden, the defense where I'm going, I don't think it's better on paper than it was at this point last year or at the end of last season, is, I don't want to say it's good, but it's viable. It's good enough to go with their playoff offense. They have an NFC Championship offense. I don't know if they have an NFC Championship defense right now. In fact, I don't think they do,
no.
right? But if they're, what do you want to call it, league average or fine or solid, I think that's plenty good enough. Opportunistic. That's really what Dan Quinn's defenses have been, not non-Legion of Boom time, is you may get some yards. You may get them a couple times, but they're going to turn you over. They're going to harass you. And to me, that's what I want for this offense, right? I want more opportunity for this offense to get some plays and some game-changing stuff. I think only a handful of defenses nowadays, given the rules, can not only stop you down in, down out, but then also dictate to what you have to, what you can do, can and can't do, and then turn you over a bunch. I don't know that defense is out there. You're chasing a white whale. The emphasis should be on offense, and let's try to be as good as we can on defense.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, when you think back to those Seattle defenses with Dan Quinn and Legion of Boom, they were built from the back to the front. Generally, we talk about being built in the trenches and then having secondary afterwards, but they kind of built from the back to the front by having Sherman and Browner and Chancellor and Earl Thomas, right? And then they had, Michael Bennett was a solid pass rusher, but they didn't have as many guys up front. I think you saw by the way that they went about this that they're trying to do that again, where you have more guys on the back end so that I know I have solid coverage. I'll manufacture that pass rush.
So people are now calling about Lattimore. I'll allow that. 800-636-1067. Seriously, totally fine. I'm not bullish. I don't think it's going to work. How do you feel about that? Pretty simple, right? Let's call balls and strikes. Again, I want to be very clear. I was in favor of the move. I have no problem with them trying to do something pretty special right there because of the opportunity where they were. Elijah, DC, your thoughts?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
Like you said, you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and realize what you think you're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about Washington is they were aggressive enough. And because I was telling Mayman on hold, you have to think they beat out Kansas City and other teams. Even if he didn't and he doesn't pan out, I respect the work that went in to get this player. And if this is an inkling, I know the performance may not have matched up, but if you're talking about future investments and future decisions in the moment when it's like you could talk about all what you need, all you want over the off season, but it's a very rare the few teams that are able to make moves in season to give them a better chance and a better position. And I love a general manager who says, my responsibility is to do everything I can from a week-to-week basis to put these guys in the best position to succeed. And if he said, this is what the best we have, we got it now coming into this year. We don't have to worry about some of the other corners. I don't want to bash those guys, so saying their names is irrelevant right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're NFL players that did what they were supposed to do to their degree, whatever they could do. But you see that they realize this line of scrimmage goes all the way to the boundaries, all the way to the sideline. So if you don't have cornerbacks who are working in tandem with your defensive line, it's going to be problematic. Marshawn Lattimore, he's a good veteran to have presence. If you want to know how to be an NFL player, looks and different things that you're going to have to prepare for, he's a good fit for just when Amos is coming in, undrafted guys. There's so many guys. I think of this like if you want to get better at football or if you want to be a part of an organization that's going to push you to the max, it doesn't matter if you're in this uniform or not. If you come to Washington, you're going to have an opportunity to grow as an individual and as a player.
And that's the hope. Elijah, thanks for the call, buddy. Really appreciate it. Let's go to Vinny in Seat Pleasant. Vinny, your thoughts on the Lattimore deal?
Man. So what's going on, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so last season, I think was a disappointment. But can we please get a chance to wipe that away? I'm pretty optimistic about this season coming up. I think Marshawn's hamstring will be a lot better. But considering the fact that his presence, being a physical specimen out on the field, it's a threat to other receivers and other teams. I don't remember one game last season. I don't even think they threw the ball to his side. So
Saints game,
I'm looking at it as an optimistic type thing. And I think, this year we should just go ahead and, plug him in and try to see what we can do.
Vinny, love it. Appreciate the phone call. So let me just say this real quick, Tobes, and I'll tag you in. 9 games played 2024, 10 games played 2023, 7 games played 2022. That doesn't make anybody nervous? That doesn't make it, you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Of course I'm going to give him a chance. I mean, now, when you have to make an early call as a front office person, there's a reason I'm not a front office person. I'm barely qualified to do this, let alone make decisions for a franchise. But when I was calling balls and strikes in the offseason, I'm going, you know what? I don't believe it. I would have cut bait and used that $16 million in savings that I would have gotten in the salary cap to go get a marquee corner. They didn't. They did the Vinny plan. I got no problem with the Vinny plan. It's well thought out. What it means is we're not in any rush. Let's go get a couple reinforcements, no stars. But if he plays well for us, what a great value. But I'm scared of the recurring injury thing. I'm scared of how bad it went, and I would have probably cut bait earlier.
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason that he's even being talked about right now, Danny, is the fact that he's not at OTAs. Like, if we did our normal topic where we're talking about, like we did earlier, where we're talking about who's a breakout, who's a disappointment, maybe we bring up Marshawn Lattimore. But he's not helping his case by not showing up for OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's volunteer. I get all that stuff. I understand that. And really, him being there isn't going to affect whether he plays well or not this season. Probably not. Not a big-time factor. But if he could at least show up for that after a very bad season for this team, I think we're not having this sort of discussion today. I think a lot of people are down, and your opinion is already poor, and then you give more of a reason for people to dislike you. So that's kind of why we're at where we're at. I appreciate the optimism from Vinny, but I don't think many people are on that side.
Dave and Raleigh, what's up, man? Talking Lattimore.
Hey, guys, I agree with your guys' sentiment. I agree they should have gotten a quarterback last year. I just don't know why they got this guy that's injury-prone, and I agree. I thought he had a bad year. But, Danny, I don't understand. If I recall correctly, you were big on the fact that you thought that they're one of their biggest needs. In fact, their biggest need was defensive end. I always thought it was cornerback. So I don't – if I'm wrong on that, I apologize. But if you think that Lattimore is going to be a bust, as do I – why do you think that the defensive end was their biggest area of need?
Oh, appreciate you, dude. Thank you. So it was on my list, certainly. I looking at corner. Now, they went and got Jonathan Jones. They have Sammer still returning. I think Noah Monogany is going to be back. And they drafted Trey Amos, right? So there are cornerbacks there that they went and addressed. Now, I don't know how many of them are marquee or stars or ones or alphas or whatever. Time will certainly tell. But to me, there was a glaring hole at pass rusher, at defensive end. That was a weakness last year, and it certainly didn't get any better where there's a net negative, a net loss this offseason when you lose Dante Fowler. I think they found lightning in a bottle with Fowler. Totally fine not winning a bidding war for him. So I think that's my answer. But if we're looking at top positions of need and want for me, quarterback was 100% on there.
Yeah, I think it had to be. But, I mean, if you thought Lattimore could come back and help, then maybe not. But there was no premier guy. Like, if you asked how many guys do you trust at edge rusher, I think Dorrance Armstrong's fine. Right? Like, he's fine. He's not great. Mm-hmm. He's not exceptional. I think there were guys, at least one guy, in Mikey Sanders still that I think you think is a plus. So that's why, I mean, it was glaring. You didn't have much of a pass rush. Your guy that had double-digit sacks last year was gone. So I think, look, both positions were places where they needed someone. I think they've addressed both slightly. You know, defensive end, I don't think they did a ton. They brought in guys that can help out the run, hopefully. But it's not like they brought in a big-time pass rusher, but they addressed corner. So I'm interested to see how Amos does. And if Lattimore, again, we're down on Lattimore, but he could be the difference in this defense going from being an average defense, if everything hits, to, wow, they're actually pretty good.
Charlie in Silver Spring, last word on this. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys, what Toby just said was very key. I think Marshawn still has a chance to be fantastic for the Commanders. 2024 was an injured season. To hear phrases like cut bait or it was a bad move, I think that's kind of silly. And one thing I'd like to add about the league is the rules are not in favor of cornerbacks. You're not going to have true shutdown corners anymore. It's just Sauce Gardner's not a shutdown. Jalen Ramsey was not a shutdown. The last shutdown corner was Darrelle Revis. Marshawn was never a shutdown. He was strong, he was nasty, and he can be that again, but he was never a shutdown corner, which is what we were calling him when we traded for him. Everyone was so excited because, you know, we thought we had a shutdown. One more thing, I don't think we win that New Orleans game without Marshawn Lattimore because that day he shut somebody down.
Charlie, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I don't think he was targeted in that game, if memory serves.
Definitely.
So that was deference to him from New Orleans, who knows him very well. So to Charlie's point, I totally hear you, but we're all talking on the relative scale, right? In other words, like 5-6 years ago, everybody threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. Now the league leader cracks 40 barely, right? And now to get 30 is a huge deal. So we're all talking the scale. The scale moves at the same time. You're 100% right. There's no Deion Sanders or I don't know. You could pick your shutdown corner over time. You're 100% right, but still. Within that framework, just because there's no shutdown corners doesn't mean Benjamin St. Juste is good. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I understand your point, Charlie. Maybe the expectations were out of whack. You can't tell me that he was a net plus last year. Now, if the point is give him a chance to be a net plus this year, very reasonable take to me.
Well, and the other issue that I have with the call there is he said, well, you can dismiss a little bit of last year because it was an injured season. You just laid out. His last however many years have been injured seasons.
3 straight.
That's the problem with Lattimore, and that's part of the reason why there was a red flag put on when you traded for him. He's someone that is very injury prone, and he was injured last season. So you can't dismiss that as, he was injured when he's constantly injured. If it's something where a guy is playing all the time and he just so happens to miss a game, like we talk about this with Ovi, right? This season when he gets hurt. It's the first extended amount of time he missed all year. He gets the benefit of the doubt on injuries. Lattimore does not.
That's Toby. I'm Danny. It's Grant and Danny here on The Fan. Tobes is in for GP. Good conversation we stumbled into there on Marshawn Lattimore. I appreciate all the phone calls, good feedback. That's kind of the medium. That's the medium in action. Right? You're not rigid. You're not stuck doing something. You can do it live. We'll do it live. Caps fans, talking to you next. I got a conversation I think we need to have. That's at 5:27 on The Fan.
Spend your afternoons with Adam Epstein.
And Adam, I think we have the right leader.
Quick pass, run. Quick pass, run. Play action off of that. Take your deep shot.
He's a winner.
AWOD Radio.
He's made an incredible impact everywhere he's been.
What would the ultimate pregame look like? Where's the beer pong going to be? Where's the twerk sesh?
On Sports Radio 910 The Fan and 105.1 FM. From the MyInsuranceDoctor.com Traffic Center. Official insurance of the new Sports Radio 910 The Fan.
Still seeing some slow, heavy traffic, 95 northbound around that 64 downtown merge, and also 195 northbound at the Bryant Park interchange. Now seeing delays, 288 southbound at Patterson and 288 southbound just after the Powell Heights Parkway. I'm Samantha Stone with traffic.
From the Pearson Signature Dealership Studio, this is the new Sports Radio 910 The Fan. Now at 105.1 FM, WRNL Richmond and WRVQ HD2 Richmond. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Your floor's looking old? The solution? 50 Floor, the ultimate flooring experience. Schedule a free in-home consultation and they'll bring hundreds of samples to your home. They have the highest quality hardwood, carpet, laminate, and luxury vinyl with the best warranties in the industry and a best price match guarantee. Make an appointment today, mention promo code PODCAST, and get 50% off your flooring and materials. Save thousands. Call 877-50-FLOOR or visit online at 50floor.com. That's 50floor.com.
Fans, Baby Ruth, the official candy bar of the Cincinnati Reds, is the go-to fan favorite treat before, during, or even after the game. Taste the deliciousness of high-quality dry roasted peanuts, rich caramel, and smooth nougat. There's nothing better than enjoying your favorite game with a classic candy bar. So get your hands on your own Baby Ruth bar today at your local Speedway.
Trading shouldn't have barriers. When Robinhood started, it was built to make trading more accessible. Now, Robinhood offers more sophisticated trading tools. Experience the future of trading on Robinhood Legend, the all-new desktop platform that harnesses intuitive design to deliver a seamless experience for traders. Free to use with a Robinhood account. The future of trading is fast, powerful, and precise. Experience it now on Robinhood Legend. Sign up today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer.
Westwood One Sports presents this special tennis update. Roland Garros farewell today to Richard Gasquet, a France native who played his first French Open at age 16. He's now 38, sent into retirement by top seed Yannick Sinner, who lost only 7 games. Gael Monfils, another 38-year-old Frenchman, he rallied from 2 sets down in the opening round, now facing Jack Draper, the Canadian, who's seeded 5th. Draper leads 2-1. Novak Djokovic won his match, so did Alex Zverev. An American Ethan Quinn won a 5-setter. The Brit Cam Sam Norrie, who had the first-round upset of Daniil Medvedev, won again. Ninth-seeded Alex de Minaur blew a two-set lead, was upset by Russia's Alexander Bublik. Is the next great player João Fonseca, only 18 years old. The Brazilian won easily into the third round. American women advancing include Jess Pegula, Coco Gauff, Madison Keys, Haley Baptiste, and Sophia Kenin, who beat Victoria Azarenka. John Stanshauer, West Midland Sports.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The new Sports Radio 910, The Fan. And now at 105.1 FM.
20% off sunglasses from Shadon Precision Eyewear. Hurry over to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and use promo code SPRING. See better and play better with Shadon. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com. Promo code SPRING.
Lowe's knows when you're ready for new appliances, you want the best deal. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances like GE. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances $396 or more, like exclusive GE ranges with the Easy Wash oven tray, plus an air fry basket. Shop these and other Memorial Day deals at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, exclusions apply. Valid 5/15 through 6/4.
I'm Jordan Robinson, host of the new podcast, The Women's Hoop Show. Each episode, I'll be joined by a rotating group of women's basketball experts to talk WNBA, college hoops, the new Unrivaled League, and the shifting landscape of the sport. The game is growing, and so are we. Listen to and follow The Women's Hoop Show and Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The 15th season of Flying Squirrels Baseball is on the air.
That ball is long, long gone. Wow.
Trey Wilson and Blaine McCormick bring you every pitch of the 2025 season.
The throw from Barracuda is on the money.
Listen to the play-by-play for every game right here. Your exclusive home for Flying Squirrels Baseball. Sports Radio 910 The Fan, 105.1 FM, and always streaming live on the free Odyssey app.
Have fun, go nuts!
I love it. Oklahoma, who has won 4 straight natties, they're going back and forth, bottom of the last inning, couple runners eke their way on. I didn't see who the hero was, but Rhino called it a 3-run bomb to give Oklahoma the walk-off win of the Women's College World Series. I love it. I watch it every year.
Insane.
I have a great time.
Insane. I got to see a replay of this. I was mid-update watching you lose your mind.
Yeah, because Ryan goes, dude, watch this 3-run bomb. And then she did. Oklahoma won it. That was incredible. It's awesome. Anyway, I watch it. I'm going to go home and watch it. It's my favorite. Welcome back to the show. It's Grant and Danny here on The Fan. So I want to have an uncomfortable conversation with you folks. Here's where I'm at, Caps fans. You want to weigh in, you want to yell at me, that's fine. 800-636-1067. The team that just made you look like a second-class citizen, the team that just beat the brakes off of you over 5 games, a gentleman's sweep, just had the same thing done to them by the Florida Panthers. Florida's going to their 3rd straight Stanley Cup final. Maybe they win it, maybe they don't. I have no idea. You have a great chance to. How should Caps fans feel about that? I'm not talking about how much I hate Carolina. I hate them. I'm glad they lost. I'll root for them to lose forever. Fine, no problem. I'm just talking about from the perspective of you couldn't manage much. You couldn't get an offensive draw. You couldn't have any zone time. You couldn't get quality shots or scoring chances. You couldn't score. Your world-class goal scorer was, frankly, not a useful player in that series. And again, it's not an Ovechkin criticism, just what happened. Nobody did anything. You played well against Montreal, deserve credit for that. But this goes in a long list of classic Capitals playoff performances. I offer a couple data points. Within the last 3 years, the Florida Panthers have been to more Stanley Cup finals than the Washington Capitals in their entire existence. Within the last 6 seasons, the Carolina Hurricanes have been to more conference finals than the Capitals have in their entire existence. Within the last 6 seasons, the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have been bounced out of the first round, have both won more Stanley Cups and been to more Stanley Cup finals and been to more conference finals than the Caps have, again, in their entire existence. The Vegas Golden Knights are an expansion team with more Stanley Cup finals trips than Washington. They existed the first year. They went and lost to Washington in the Stanley Cup final. I got my championship, Tobes. Okay, it happened. Now, these teams are at the top of the sport right now. There are others that would trade their situation for ours, sight unseen. Ask Toronto about playoff success.
Definitely.
But so that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is once every 20 years, a Capitals team defies the odds, gets out of the place that they never get out of, and goes to a championship. They lost in 98, won it in 2018. I'm grateful for that. What they did in 2018 took away the poison for me as a DC fan. I've been sitting here as a guy at the time I think I just turned 40, I was close to 40, who had experienced so much success as a little kid up until I was 12 years old. And then that was taken away. Then it was decades. I'm not a victim. I'm just telling what happened. Like you guys were there too. For 30 plus years, no team even got to a conference championship game, let alone to a finals, let alone had a real chance of winning anything. It was unprecedented. In a city with most of the time 3, now 4 major sports, never having once been a legitimate championship contender, it was astounding. Even joke franchises, even terrible places with 1 team or 2 teams or whatever, they got conference championship appearances. Never in Washington. It was absurd. The Caps opened up that valve. All the steam, all the poison came flying out, and now I can just kind of enjoy sports for what it is. I will be forever grateful for them for breaking the ice. They won. Next year, the Nationals win. A baseball team in my hometown won a World Series. I still can't believe that's the thing that happened to me, buddy. But facing facts here, there has been something systemically amiss with this franchise that does a lot of things really well, talking about the Capitals. So this is kind of a two-pronged conversation that I want to have with you folks, and I want you to weigh into. Prong number 1, it's hard to get excited about any kind of regular season anything. Now, Ovechkin setting a record, that was exciting, that was awesome. Yeah. Give me that again. When we learned that regular season success has nothing to do, to a degree, with playoff success, how am I supposed to be excited in December when the Caps are a couple games over 500 and have a good power play? How is that supposed to be exciting to me when I know what's around the corner? Hard to separate for me. There is something systemically busted and broken about this franchise that over a 20-year span went to the playoffs 16 times and lost in the first or second round 15 of those times. That's damn near impossible to do. And yet they've done it. A previous group over 20 years actually went to the playoffs more than this Rock the Red era. They went 17 times, lost in the first or second round, 15, had one sneaky, weird conference final appearance, but they lost that too. 3 times in my life, 3 times in the history, 50 years, celebrating 50 years this year, Tobes, this Capitals organization has gone to the conference final. Twice they've gone to the championship round. Won one, lost one. That's impossible. To be in the playoffs that often and have it work in your benefit, have it work out for you so rarely. The second part is the team that kicked your butt just got their butt kicked. I'm really bummed out, as you could tell, as a Caps fan right now this minute. It feels pretty depressing to me. The fun part, the other plate I can spin, is Ovi-related stuff. Every goal he scores is the new record. He's up at the top of that list. I'm excited to watch that. His farewell tour is awesome. But in terms of team success, hard for me to be excited. Tag, you're it.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Off your first point, historically they have. Everything you said is correct. They've struggled in the playoffs. Historically, that's definitely a thing. But I think if you zoom in more on what they are now, they weren't expected to be where they were this season. And I'm not going to pull it's exciting and they weren't supposed to be anywhere. Number 1 seed is fine. I get it's disappointing to watch how they bowed out against Carolina, and they were thoroughly dominated throughout the entire series. Even if the scores weren't always lopsided, just watching the games, it felt lopsided. Losing game 1, it was worse than a 2-1 scoreline in overtime. But regardless, you look at the growth from year 1 to year 2 under Coach Carbs. You look at the growth of a Connor McMichael. You look at the acquisition of a Jacob Chikrin. You look at some of those things. It gives you hope that maybe this time is different. At the same point, Danny, it's been 50 years of feeling like, okay, maybe this time is different. Maybe this time is different. And truly only one time has been different in 2018, right? So I can understand that maybe this is like the same folly and insanity doing the same thing over and over again. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're trying to zoom in more so on what they're specifically doing, then maybe you feel like, okay, they're going in the right direction, and we'll see where they can do next season if they can take the same sort of step that they took from year 1 to year 2 of Carbs. Can they do the same thing of year 2 to year 3? To your point about Carolina just looking thoroughly outclassed against Florida, that's where it gets interesting, because we talk all the time about styles make fights, and I think it was pretty clear Washington against Carolina, the style for Carolina was too much for Washington, because if there was something that Washington, watching them throughout the season, especially when they were struggling during the Ovi goals chase to actually win hockey games, it was they struggled so badly to clear their own zone so many times. And you're playing against a team that just wants to live there and shoot every puck at the net. And I think you saw what happened there, where a team struggles against a team's strengths, and you end up with a really, really bad matchup. And in turn, Carolina dominates that series. The difference for me is Carolina looked outclassed against Florida.
Like completely.
Yeah. And so that's where I think it's interesting, where to me, the series against Carolina is, okay, that's a style thing. Maybe you could say the Capitals were outclassed to an extent, but I think you make a couple of adjustments in terms of this offseason, make a few key acquisitions, change a few things, maybe change a little bit of your philosophy, shift up the lines a little bit. Maybe it goes a little bit differently for you next year if you end up in the same spot against Carolina. I'm interested if they would have matched up against Florida, would they have been thoroughly outclassed? Because to your point, if you're a Caps fan, you were in the Final 8. Awesome. And you had a team that you thought was better than you go in and, all right, they beat us. You tip the cap. It sucks that it's Carolina, but you tip the cap. And then they just get completely mollywopped in the conference finals. So it makes you feel like, well, we were the top seed in the Eastern Conference. We got beat by a better team, and then that team just got demolished. So maybe we aren't that good. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's my takeaway. I think the style was wrong against Carolina, and I think Florida is just so far and above everybody else right now in the Eastern Conference in terms of that. So they're still in that same tier to Carolina to me. Maybe they would have had a little bit better. Maybe it would have been the same against Florida. But I don't feel worse having seen Carolina just get destroyed by Florida.
800-636-1067. So this is kind of two-pronged for me. I'm going to spin a couple plates here with you guys. Number one, Carolina, who kicked the Caps' butt, got their butt kicked. I don't feel better today as a Caps fan. Again, fan-wise, I love when Carolina loses. That's great. I hope they lose every game for the rest of the time and Rod Brindamore gets fired. But in terms of that, I feel a lot worse. A series where Washington really wasn't that competitive, and everybody wants to tell me, well, look at the quality shot. I never want to hear about quality shots again. It's the same thing. It's the same thing I feel about the heavy game. The word heavy game means you lose to me. I don't want to hear about quality shots because Carolina didn't score on quality shots. They scored on flicking the puck at the net, and Washington couldn't score. So I don't care. I care about the results. The results where you couldn't get out of your zone. The results where you couldn't get offensive zone draws. You put no pressure on them. That's what I want. I don't care about the million shot attempts. I care about not letting the other team breathe, and the other team could breathe just fine against Washington, despite all the ideas that they'd be so heavy that everyone would get tired. Teams played well against them in the third period. Even Montreal in the first round played just fine in the third period. In fact, dominating third periods. Washington was hanging on for dear life. Mm-hmm. What was supposed to happen, I was told, was they check so much that everybody starts to get tired and they play worse. Wrong. That's not what happened. Again, Washington won in that first round. I'm aware of that. To me, I feel worse as a Caps fan. So that's part one. Do you feel worse? 800-636-1067. Part two, I kind of got this. It sounds like I'm being depressed and whiny about it. And maybe you can accuse me of that. That's fine. But I'm kind of going, hard for me to be optimistic or excited about this regular season, about kind of the next steps coming up. I got data points here. I got a bunch of teams that have had way more success in a small amount of time than 50 years of the Washington Capitals. I'm kind of bummed about it.
Wait, you're leaving us? You're matching pajamas.
Matching silk pajamas, babe.
You discover Heineken and now you go out to, watch live sports?
We were literally made to wrap you in luxury, to vibe, to recharge your soul.
And your weighted blanket is here.
It's like a blanket, but so weighted.
Don't listen to your PJs. Head to the game with some friends and grab some ice-cold Heinekens. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
See what I mean?
You're right. I'm really not the worst trumpet player in the world. Thanks, Dad.
Just keep practicing, son. You'll get it.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Shop your favorite brands at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off Annie's, Cascadian Farm, Epic, and Larabar select snacks with Prime through June 10th. Save on delicious snacks and bites for the whole family. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Employee pricing is in full effect at Lindsay Ford of Wheaton. You pay what their employees pay across a full lineup of trucks and SUVs. My guy Jay Raptor is serving up steep savings on a stacked lineup of Super Duty, Transit vans, Maverick, and more. You'll love it at Lindsay, lindsayford.com.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds.
Spend your afternoons with Adam Epstein.
And Adam, I think we have the right leader.
Quick pass, run. Quick pass, run. Play action off of that. Take your deep shot.
He's a winner.
AWOD Radio.
He's made an incredible impact everywhere he's been.
What would the ultimate pregame look like? Where's the beer pong gonna be? Where's the twerk sesh?
On Sports Radio 910 The Fan and 105.1 FM. From the MyInsuranceDoctor.com Traffic Center. Official insurance of the new Sports Radio 910 The Fan.
Still seeing heavy delays, 95 northbound at the 64 downtown merge and 95 southbound now slow from an incident at the Bryant Park interchange. A serious accident slowing things both directions on Hull Street between Genito and Courthouse. With traffic, I'm Samantha Stone.
Your floor's looking old? The solution? 50 Floor, the ultimate flooring experience. Schedule a free in-home consultation and they'll bring hundreds of samples to your home. They have the highest quality hardwood, carpet, laminate, and luxury vinyl with the best warranties in the industry and a best price match guarantee. Make an appointment today, mention promo code PODCAST, and get 50% off your flooring and materials. Save thousands. Call 877-50-FLOOR or visit online at 50floor.com. That's 50floor.com.
Fans, Baby Ruth, the official candy bar of the Cincinnati Reds, is the go-to fan favorite treat. Before, during, or even after the game. Taste the deliciousness of high-quality dry-roasted peanuts, rich caramel, and smooth nougat. There's nothing better than enjoying your favorite game with a classic candy bar. So get your hands on your own Baby Ruth bar today at your local Kroger.
Missions to Mars, driverless cars, AI chatbots. Feels like we're already living in the future. Robinhood is built for the future of trading. Robinhood's intuitive design makes trading seamless so you can spot opportunities and take control of your trades. You can now even trade stocks and crypto all in one place. Sign up for a Robinhood account today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Trading during extended hours involves additional risks. Cryptocurrency services are offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC and MLS ID 1702840. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services.
20% off sunglasses from Shade Precision Eyewear. Hurry over to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and use promo code SPRING. See better and play better with Shade. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com. Promo code SPRING.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
I'm Tank Sinatra here with my co-host,
Investigator Slater.
We host the true crime podcast, Psychopedia.
Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Who loves Aunt Millie's bread? Morning people who are way too happy to hear the alarm. Families trying to get everyone where they need to be on time, for once. Binge watchers and bookworms, dog lovers and cat people. Bikers and joggers who are both convinced it's their trail to share. Kids who know PB&J is almost as good as dessert. And anyone who loves the freshest bread delivered daily to Cincinnati's favorite grocers. Because no matter where the day takes you, Aunt Millie's brings you closer to home.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Hey, baseball fans. Now at Verizon, they're locking in low prices for 3 years, guaranteed on my plan. And you can get a single line for just $45 a month when you switch and bring your phone. That's their best price ever on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Guaranteed for 3 years. Because at Verizon, they got you. Visit your local Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
It's on. The biggest Maytag sale of the year at Lowe's. Buy 2 select laundry appliances and get up to a $100 bonus via instant rebate. Shop all things Maytag, including the new stackable Pet Pro laundry system that removes pet hair from clothes. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid through 5/31. See store for pricing and offer details. Advertise savings on all major Maytag appliances through Maytag.com and participating retailers. Prices may vary. Additional terms and conditions apply.
I know we did in the regular season. Rather, I know we played okay against them, but playoffs are a different animal. You need all 4 lines have to be going, and we didn't have our 4 lines going. They had opportunities when they would pressure us. We turned the puck over way too much and gave them opportunities, and that was that. And I know this is an unpopular thing that Caps fans are going to not want to hear, but we weren't going to beat Florida. That team is a machine, and they're probably going to win the cup again. But it's really hard to play against a team like Florida and Carolina, which we're going to have to play against if we're going to make it past the second round coming in the future years. But I think Carbs has got us on the right direction. They might need to revamp the roster again a little bit next season. Probably going to lose some guys and maybe bring in some guys that are more skilled than the ones that we had that didn't perform.
Jamie, thank you, buddy. Really great phone call. Appreciate it. A lot of guys on hold. That's why I'm moving on.
Yeah, and I think there's no question they have to revamp the roster. There's just not enough speed and skill from some of the other guys. And unfortunately, some older players maybe need to be moved on from, but they have to make some adjustments for next season.
Let's go to Rich in Richmond. What's up, buddy? You're on the Fan.
Hey, great show. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you.
Before I move on to the Capitals, let's hold on a second. Winnipeg fans got to be disappointed, too. They had like a 90-point goal differential.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, in your opinion, what do we need to do? Do we need to I understand better skill players, but do guys like Lars Eller and Ovechkin need to retire? Do we need a better goalie, a better defense? I don't think it's the coach, but do we need another coach?
You want to know what they need?
Hear your opinion.
Yeah, Rich, thank you. Appreciate it. Now, full admission, I never played hockey. So I don't know it as well as I know the other sports. Here's what I know. Here's my perspective. I want to get yours, Tobes. As a Capitals fan, because that's what I watch, I know what terrifies me. And I want to do that to people. I'm like Batman without the charisma, the money, the utility belt, Alfred, the Batmobile, the Batwing, any of the gadgets, and the courage.
Okay. Like him.
I want to take the thing that makes me so afraid I can barely watch the game and do that to other people. That means I want more Beauvilliers. I want more of guys in the regular season that frankly aren't going to do all that much. Right? The thing that we light the lamp a whole bunch. We'll go find another skill guy, another this, another that. And nothing wrong with the Dylan Strome. And nothing wrong with the Connor McMichael. I like those guys. These are good players. And you need some of them. I want more of that constant, no space giving harassment and haranguing of opposing players where they can't get it out of their own zone. I want the goalie to be able to take a nap. I want Thompson.
If you missed any of AWOD Radio, you can rewind on the free Odyssey app. Check out the podcast by searching AWOD Radio on iTunes or Spotify.
Downloading.
The new Sports Radio 910 The Fan.
From the MyInsuranceDoctor.com Traffic Center, official insurance of the new Sports Radio 910 The Fan.
Slow spots, 64 westbound on the Chaco Valley Bridge, merging with 95, 195 northbound at the Bryan Park interchange. A serious crash on Hull Street, slowing traffic heavily both directions between Genito and Courthouse. With traffic, I'm Samantha Stone.
Your floor's looking old? The solution? 50 Floor, the ultimate flooring experience. Schedule a free in-home consultation and they'll bring hundreds of samples to your home. They have the highest quality hardwood, carpet, laminate, and luxury vinyl with the best warranties in the industry and a best price match guarantee. Make an appointment today, mention promo code PODCAST, and get 50% off your flooring and materials. Save thousands. Call 877-50-FLOOR or visit online at 50floor.com. That's 50floor.com.
Fans, Baby Ruth, the official candy bar of the Cincinnati Reds, is the go-to fan favorite treat. Before, during, or even after the game. Taste the deliciousness of high-quality dry roasted peanuts, rich caramel, and smooth nougat. There's nothing better than enjoying your favorite game with a classic candy bar. So get your hands on your own Baby Ruth bar today at your local Speedway.
Missions to Mars, driverless cars, AI chatbots. Feels like we're already living in the future. Robinhood is built for the future of trading. Robinhood's intuitive design makes trading seamless so you can spot opportunities and take control of your trades. You can now even trade stocks and crypto all in one place. Sign up for a Robinhood account today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Trading during extended hours involves additional risks. Cryptocurrency services are offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services.
There are two types of golfers, those that can hit solid golf shots wearing sunglasses and those that wish they could. Shaden Precision Eyewear is all about better vision and better golf. If you're lacking confidence to wear sunglasses while hitting golf shots, go to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and learn why so many tour players and their caddies have switched to the Shaden brand. Use the code SPRING to get 20% off and a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and the code SPRING to see the golf course like you've never seen it before.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
I'm Tyke here with my co-host,
Investigator Slater.
We host the true crime podcast, Psychopedia.
Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Do you realize if you make the minimum monthly payments on your credit cards, it will take you nearly 20 years to pay them off? What if I told you I know a way for you to get them all paid off in a matter of weeks? Hey there, Gary Hess here. Here's where to go, neighborhoodlender.com. Neighborhood Lender can easily help you get hundreds of thousands of dollars from your home's equity. It's a high-tech, super-fast platform that usually doesn't even require an appraisal. People who do this with Neighborhood Lender are living their best life. They're credit card debt-free, with cash left over for other stuff like home improvements. Listen, it's your money. You need to use it. See how much cash you can get now. 804-643-LOAN, 804-643-LOAN, or neighborhoodlender.com. Say goodbye to greedy credit card companies. Neighborhood Lender can get you the cash you need. 804-643-LOAN. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 69349, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Attention men. Erectile dysfunction is a severe condition affecting nearly 50% of men over 50. If you suffer from this